What if Kazakhstan keeps alive USSR in 1991? What if Kazakhstan, one of the largest and most diverse republics in the Soviet Union, proposes to the other republics that they should all remain united and declare their independence from the crumbling Soviet state together? In short, what if Kazakhstan kept the USSR alive in 1991? In our timeline, as we all know, this didn't happen. And just like that, the Soviet Union was officially no more. But what if this didn't happen? What if Kazakhstan's proposal was accepted? How would the world be different today if the Soviet Union never dissolved? For the sake of this video, let's assume that after the failed August coup, Mikhail Gorbachev resigns, and the leaders of all 15 republics meet in Kazakhstan to discuss their future. In this meeting, the leaders agreed to declare their independence, but not from the Soviet Union, from each other. They declare Kazakhstan as the new Soviet state and appoint Nursultan Nazarbayev as the president of this new Soviet Union. But why would they do this? Why would they give up their hard-earned independence just like that? Well, in our timeline, the Soviet Union was disintegrating due to rising nationalism and the desire for self-determination among its various ethnic groups. However, it can be argued that the Soviet Union was also disintegrating due to economic issues. The Soviet economy was stagnant, and the living standards of the average Soviet citizen had been declining for years. By remaining in a union with one another, the leaders of these nations would essentially be giving up on their newly gained independence in exchange for a more stable economy and higher living standards. Now, this is by no means a perfect solution, but in a world where the Soviet Union is kept together, there are some very interesting possibilities. Would the people of Kazakhstan have risen up against their government for going back on their word? Would the other nations eventually come to resent Kazakhstan for essentially betraying them? How would the relationship between Russia and Kazakhstan be different today if Kazakhstan wasn't a part of the reason that the USSR fell apart? This is obviously just speculation, but it's fun to think about how different the world could have been if Kazakhstan didn't keep the USSR alive in 1991. Do you think that the Soviet Union would have become a more prosperous and stable state if they remained together? Or do you think that the people of Kazakhstan would have eventually risen up against their government for going back on their word? Comment your thoughts below.